Okay, as we said, we'd like to welcome you to the Preschool Virtual Information Night. We're very glad that you're here joining us. We will have an opportunity to answer some questions a little bit later, but we're going to give you an overview of some of the programs that we have available. We're going to talk about the curriculum and why we believe this is the best start for your child. We'll also talk about some of our special education programs that we have available if you believe that your child may need a little bit of help as well. And then we'll talk about some frequently asked questions as we go through. We'll talk about our points of pride. We'll talk about some of our partnerships that we have and why we think Troy Preschool is so special. Our team that's joining us tonight to talk about this, of course, myself, Carrie Birmingham. We also have Christine Griefer, who is our Assistant Superintendent for Elementary Education, Erin Kaiser, who is our Director of Early Childhood Programs and the Preschool, Natalie Hazelbrook, who is our Director of our Teaching and Learning Department, Patricia or Pat Grandy, who is our lead teacher at Troy School District Preschool, and Sarah Young, who is our Supervisor of Special Education Programs. All of these folks will be here tonight to kind of lend a little piece of the puzzle and their expertise about how our programs can benefit your child.
We're so excited to welcome you back to school. Today we have a new student who's going to check out our preschool and show you around. The common area is designed to allow space for classes to spread out and extend their learning from the classroom. This provides an opportunity for large group activities, guest readers, obstacle courses, parachutes. The opportunities are endless. Children have individually assigned storage for their materials directly outside of their classroom. This helps to build children's responsibility and have a structured routine in their day. The preschool classroom is designed entirely with 3 to 5-year-olds in mind. From the flexible furniture to hands-on, authentic learning materials, children are driven by their interests and can build on their inherent strengths. The play-based learning and authentic literacy are part of their daily interactions. The preschool gym allows for indoor gross motor play to enhance confidence and get our wiggles out. Children have both gym and playground playtime built into their daily schedules. The clinic is available for any student who is injured or ill. Children are supervised and cared for while their privacy is respected. Our preschool playground boasts over 30,000 square feet of natural, inclusive play opportunities. Here, children have the opportunity to use creativity and imagination as they play with friends.
I'm so excited for preschool.
Okay, I probably should have set that up a little bit better. If that was low for some of you, that was the video that we were talking about that might have been a little low in audio. We do have that posted, and we'll also post that on Facebook again if you'd like to see that kind of behind the scenes tour given by one of our current students who does a great job telling us all about the preschool. I hope you're able to see some of the large common areas and some of our facilities there, including the playground, the large classrooms, and whatnot. We will have that posted so you can hear the audio a little bit better on both on our website and on our Facebook page. I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Chris Griefer now, who is going to talk to us. She's our Assistant Superintendent for Elementary Instruction. She's going to talk to us a little bit about our experiences, why we do the things the way we do, and how this builds into the Troy School District world-class experience. Chris?
Thank you, Carrie. Well, I could never compete with Miss Anna. I just want to be the first to welcome you this evening to our presentation, but most importantly, we want to make sure we're extending not only our welcome, but we certainly hope during this just unusual time that all of your families are maintaining your safety and wellness of within your own household. So thank you for being with us this evening. And I also want to thank Dr. Macheski for being here, and along with our Board of Education for supporting our programming here in the district. And importantly, I'd love to take the time to thank our whole panel here this evening, but Erin Kaiser and Ms. Pat Grandy, who represent our team of devoted educators that have just made this year possible, really, to support our community and our families. Their devotion and their dedication to our programming has been uninterrupted, and again, during this unusual time during the pandemic. And they have just really put their best foot forward on behalf of our students. So thank you, Erin, to you and your team for your dedication. And this evening, we're excited to be able to talk to you about our programming. I know the burning questions on your mind as parents sometimes new to school experience in general, we'll get to those as Carrie mentioned at the end, but just to kind of give you a broader picture, just very briefly, we started about maybe 5 years ago now, thinking around under Dr. Macheski's leadership, thinking about what do the best systems do in terms of schools? What do world-class systems do? And so one of those things that we continued to research and to think through together was looking at world-class preschool systems. And so that was something that continued to come to the forefront. And not only was that important in terms of other systems, but we wanted to see what those preschool systems did. And so we were able to excitingly engage our teachers and our staff around what do the best preschool systems do. So fortunately, you have the benefit as new parents to be able to engage in some of those things. So while we're so proud and part of that vision during those 5 years was thinking together about a building, the most important part for us in our system is the learning that happens in the building each and every day. And so how we're helping to support our teachers, how we're helping to support our students with the very best programming that we know how. And something that came from that was the connection we have to our kindergarten programs within our schools. So something that you'll find different throughout our presentation as you're kind of shopping perhaps for other programs is the connection that we have to our buildings. So our teachers are in communication on a regular basis with our staff and our kindergarten programs. And so our curriculum and our programming is completely aligned. One thing as Carrie shifts gears here, this is really what represents our strategic plan in the district. And so you'll notice that we call these our 4 pillars, and just a real simple way of communicating our plan to the folks in our community. And I'll just highlight while you're here this evening, the investment that we have in early childhood as a pillar of our success and our world-class vision. And so through the lens of equity, our kind of bigger picture ideas as we partner with you as parents is to offer 100% of our incoming kindergarten students with an opportunity for high quality literacy rich preschool. And so it's, again, my perspective from the district, we want to just kind of invite you to, this is kind of a bigger picture for us, and thank you so much for your willingness to partner with us and your interest with us this evening and for our days to come.
Okay, well, our director of our preschool and director of early childhood, Erin Kaiser, will now talk about some of the points of pride and the programs that we offer through the Troy School District Preschool.
Thanks, Carrie. Good evening, everybody. I know that we later on will address some specific frequently asked questions, but I just wanted to take a moment to kind of talk about the umbrella of early childhood and just the wide range of services and programs that we offer here in Troy School District. And, you know, really there's a best fit for everybody. So I'll talk a little bit about all of our programs and then dig a little bit deeper into some of the things that we're going to be talking about tonight. It's important to note that we're celebrating that all of our programs are housed at our new facility at TSD Preschool. So the new facility on Square Lake Road. And typically we follow the Troy School District school year calendar for most of our programs. There may be a few exceptions here and there. That first icon of early on is that provides supports and interventions for children ages birth to 3 that reside in the Troy School District with potentially some developmental delays. And Sarah Young, our special education supervisor, is going to touch a little bit more on that later on. First Friends is a parent taught play group for children ages 18 months to 36 months. This meets for an hour and a half a week and is taught by a preschool teacher and a speech and language pathologist or an early on staff. This is not being offered during the pandemic, but will return, we believe, in fall of 2021, and we'll have enrollment for that open this summer. Tuition Preschool is our primary focus of the discussion tonight. Enrollment for this is going to begin and open on January 19th. This is for children ages 3 to 5. We offer 5 full days, a 7-hour preschool day, or 5 half days, 3 hours in the morning or afternoon. We also have before and after school childcare available from 6:30 in the morning until 6 p.m. That'll be, if you wanted to enroll in the before and after school childcare, don't worry about that. We'll probably open up that in the summer. Staff to student ratio in the classrooms is 1 to 10. And typically we'd go up to 20 students in the classroom. And we, again, we'll just follow guidance on classroom size based on our licensing and regulatory affairs. We're licensed under Laura. You're not required to be a Troy School District resident to enroll in our tuition programs, but we do give priority to Troy School District residents and to our staff in Troy School District. We're going to dig deeper into curriculum and programming, but we do offer competitive pricing and monthly installment payments for the tuition program. We also have a wait list for the current school year right now, but if you're interested in being placed on that wait list, you can call our office and we can take care of that for you. That next one is Gsrp. We have a couple of free preschool options in the district. Gsrp, the Great Start Readiness Preschool Program, is a free preschool for 4-year-olds that's based on income. Children must be 4 by December 1st of the current school year and be able to provide documentation of low to moderate income. This program is 4 full days a week and has a 1 to 8 teacher to student ratio with up to 16 children in the classroom. If you're interested in applying, you can go to the Troy School District website and apply today. Do a 1-page intake form. Just look for the Gsrp or Great Start Readiness Preschool icon and complete that today. We won't take care of that enrollment though until summer. Oh, Carrie, will you go back? I'm sorry, I'm just going to talk about 2 more on that slide. ECP is the early childhood programs. This is our special education preschool that meets 4 half days a week. And Sarah Young, again, our supervisor, will talk a little bit more specifically about that. And if you want some more information. The last icon is free pre-K. It's another free preschool option. And this one, students qualify based on their age. So it's for children who are kindergarten age, turning 5 by December 1st of the current school year, but parents may elect to give them an opportunity for another year of high quality preschool. You may have heard this referred to as DK or Young Fives in another district, but in Troy, we leverage it as year of high quality preschool. So we follow our preschool curriculum, preschool assessments, and it's taught by our certified preschool teaching staff. It's 5 full days, but transportation is not available. If you were interested in this program, you'll be contacted by your home school because you are kindergarten age eligible, and then you will elect during that time to enroll for pre-K rather than kindergarten. The enrollment process is exactly the same as kindergarten. Okay, Carrie, now you can go. I know that was my longest talking point, I promise. Our points of pride, we really just want to touch quickly. Parents, we know you have a lot of options when it comes to preschool. And so we wanted to just take a moment to let you know what sets Troy School District apart and the things that we have really invested in to make this a world-class experience for your child. The investment in literacy, we've made an investment to ensure that authentic literacy is at the heart of our daily interactions with students. Natalie Hazebrook and Pat Grandy are going to dig into this a little bit deeper. But just know that the importance of and the impact of high quality literacy is really present every single day in your child's preschool experience. You saw that new facility that we were so proud to open last year, and it's really designed specifically for young children. Flexible furniture, developmentally appropriate materials, careful decision-making of every piece of that environment for young children, including the indoor play experience in both the common area and the gym with floor to ceiling windows, lots of room to move, and then that sprawling playground that's really inclusive and an opportunity to just extend their play and imagination. And I echo what Chris Griefor said, that though we're proud of that new facility, nothing is more important than the relationship between the child and the teacher. So we'll have an opportunity to meet one of our teachers tonight, but the teaching teams in Troy are just the best around, and they make a huge investment. It's not just a job, it's really their passion, and the impact that they have on young children is really remarkable. So you'll have a chance to hear from a kindergarten or a preschool teacher tonight, and Natalie Hazelbrook will also talk about the impact that the district investment in those teaching teams through their professional learning, what that impact has on our program. That last one is health and safety protocols. This has been hugely important this year. We have, so we partner with Laura and Oakland County Health Department for our health and safety protocols. So some of those protocols include staff and students wearing masks, reduced class sizes, maintaining consistent groups of children with adults, maintaining distance when possible and appropriate, frequent hand washing, sanitation of the environment, and daily student and staff health screeners. We don't have any guests or visitors in the building, but if you want a comprehensive list of all of these things, you can find our response and preparedness plan on our preschool website. I'm going to turn it over to Natalie Hazelbrook now, our Director of Teaching and Learning, to talk a little bit more specifically on language and literacy.
Thank you so much, Erin. So when we hear the word literacy, I know that we probably most often think of reading and writing, but when we say literacy, we actually mean reading, writing, listening, and speaking. And we say that literacy and language are at the heart of what we do in preschool because we know that when children develop high levels of literacy early on, it will give them power throughout their school career and their lives beyond. And so not only do our teachers really nurture the foundational skills that your kids will need for reading, such as letter naming and rhyming, but they also really strive to develop a love and nurture a love of reading for your students. Our teachers also set up opportunities for students to grow skill at listening and speaking by having kids come together and collaborate during activities, both with peers and with teachers. And it's not just free collaboration. Our teachers often take opportunity to provide feedback to students so that they can grow in that area. Also in writing, our teachers will teach things like letter formation and holding a pencil, but they'll also teach your young writers that they have a voice and that if they think something is worth writing down, that it is. And that just helps them to develop confidence and to see themselves as writers. So you'll hear us talk often that we use a workshop model here in Troy, and what that means is that students have choice over what their work looks like. So the teacher might do a lesson on choosing a topic as a writer, but then students will get to choose what they write about. And choice is important, especially in the younger age levels, because it builds a sense of confidence and also independence. But it's not choice kind of willy-nilly. Our teachers are very skilled at really listening to students and providing the just right feedback that students need to move forward. And here you will see a little video that kind of highlights our connection with literacy at the pre-K to our kindergarten classrooms.
The word the, that's a snappy word. Let's read it together. The park. What types of things do you see at the park?
He's looking for number 5. Which one looks like number 5? Austin, can you give him a hand?
So you can determine that that's the small one, right? Which one do you think is the next size? Okay, why don't you count those and see your number.
8, 9, 10.
10.
When I think about what parents expect of a Troy School District, I'm thinking that they're expecting a whole education for their child. So they're expecting that teachers are going to take them in and love them truly, and their little personalities, and help them to develop into good, strong people. But I'm also thinking that parents are expecting this incredible education and expecting that their children will become strong readers and strong writers. And I know that Troy School District delivers on that.
Troy Schools offers so many experiences for developing the thinker, and that's the difference. We develop the thinker. They are writers, they are readers, they are learners, they are friends. They are so many beautiful things that encompasses a child.
Let's listen for our middle sound. Use our super stretching. Here we go. Did you hear or in? What letter is it?
From the earliest experiences in preschool through kindergarten and beyond, your child will be immersed in a world where learning is engaging and fun, where students will be challenged in age-appropriate ways and supported at every level.
We used to kind of think, okay, students should be able to do this, this, and this when they come into kindergarten or when they come into preschool. Now we know that our teachers are able to differentiate and can work with students at any level, and every student brings gifts and things that they need to work on. So our teachers are so highly trained, we can really meet students where they are and then ensure that high level of learning for all.
From the day that I have started with Troy Schools, it's always been to strive for quality preschool programming. But now what we're understanding is quality preschool programming is changing, and we're getting more research to tell us how to do that job better.
Your job is to do your work independently and quietly.
We invest in the best teachers, offer them professional development opportunities to grow their craft, and collaborate with one another to ensure the deepest learning for our students.
The difference in Troy will be two main pieces. Number one, the authentic literacy experiences that students will experience. Students will be able to see themselves as thinkers, as learners, as will our adults. And the second thing is that connection, that collaboration between our early childhood educators in our preschool all the way through our kindergarten, first and second grade. So we're building a coherent model.
In our preschool classroom, literacy is woven in everything that we do.
We do a lot of shared reading and shared writing so that whatever level they are, the teacher can support them. So if they're able to do more, they can do that and build on it. But if they need more support, it's always shared. And so there's not a worry of not being able to do something. It's celebrating where you are and where we're going.
We want them to see themselves as a reader and see themselves as a writer. When they see themselves as a writer, what I have to say is important. Think about that, what that does for a person.
Go ahead and stretch. Remember, lowercase letters.
I think our curriculum takes a beautiful job of taking things so slowly in the beginning and building and scaffolding that learning. So we start off in reading and writing, reading old favorites and really getting to know what a story is.
When they're young and they have that kind of innocent excitement about learning, and you can introduce it in a way that's engaging and fun and interactive, and through singing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have no idea why that video ended. Let me just fast forward, sorry, to where we were, because there's some really interesting things coming up and you get to hear from some parents too.
Getting to know what a story is.
When they're young and they have that kind of innocent excitement about learning, and you can introduce it in a way that's engaging and fun and interactive, and through singing and language and things where they can really participate, that's the best time to have high expectations, because they kind of explode with that excitement and that enthusiasm that's very organic and very sincere at that age.
When I think about a preschool program, I think learning letters, learning sounds, lots of crafts, you know, talking about your work. Now, my daughter comes home and she says, today we did Writer's Workshop, Mama, and in Writer's Workshop, I drew a picture and I told a story.
That's an incredible journey, is watching these little tiny people come in as kindergartners and then watching them evolve and grow as readers, writers, mathematicians, becoming these extraordinary thinkers.
We produce learners who can think critically and creatively and are able to explain not just what they know, but why and how they know it.
When you can think about what you are learning or when you're thinking about how you know something, those bits and pieces help you to make sense of the bigger picture. And that's really what we want students to recognize is the bigger picture.
And it's not enough for some students to make those connections. We take very seriously our mission to ensure that all students have the same rich opportunities.
We know that the best intervention for students is right from the start, being able to offer them a high quality experience. And we don't want that to be limited to families that could afford that. So we want to make sure that we are doing everything we can, seeking after grants, not caving into the barriers that are currently existing in our state, but being able to provide students and removing barriers for them, because we know moving forward that is extremely important to their lifelong learning.
Whether you step into one of our kindergarten classrooms or our preschool programs, you will see students engaged and enjoying learning. You'll see a commitment to teaching every child at his or her own level, and you'll see the kind of deep learning that will set these children on a path to success.
I've been in Troy for 27 years, and I think we're better now than we've ever been. I think the quality of our curriculum has increased tremendously, and I think that our delivery of that has increased as well. It's rich, it's deeper. I think our children are coming away stronger in a loving, encouraging, safe way.
So you've heard us mention several times that our Troy Pre-K programming is aligned with our K through 12 programming, and that's really important to us. We've worked hard the past few years to ensure that our expectations are in alignment, and really what we want is as our Troy students go through our system, that each year their learning is just deepened, and so we've worked hard to make sure that that happens. So one of the things we know is that the most important variable in children learning is the quality of the teacher. And so we've been very intentional about how we support teachers. Our teachers have regular opportunities for professional learning. And we're also partnered with 2 universities. We're partnered with Oakland University and the Teachers College Reading and Writing Project out of Columbia University. And that's very important to us as well, because it represents that we always value and want the most current thinking really flowing through our classrooms.
We are going to go ahead and start talking about our curriculum now. I just wanted to mention one thing. Though we are very proud of the fact that our preschool programs align with our K-12 curriculum, our Troy Preschool is open to any student. You do not have to live in the Troy School District in order to attend. So if you are outside of Troy and you're interested in having your child attend preschool, you are more than welcome to enroll your child as well. Right now, I'm going to introduce Pat Grandy, who is our lead teacher at Troy Preschool, and she's going to talk a little bit about our curriculum and how it manifests itself in the day for your child.
Thank you, Carrie. My job tonight is to talk about the curriculum that we use here in the Troy Preschool. The curriculum that we use is HighScope, and this is a research-based curriculum with a play-based platform to it. HighScope has many elements to the curriculum. Well, the first point that we feel that is the most important is the relationship that we develop as staff with our students. This is the primary first goal that we have, is to develop those relationships with our students. Second, we want to make sure that we deliver a consistent daily routine in our classrooms. And each classroom has a visual chart for our students to know what will be happening in all the different parts of their day. So this consistent daily routine is very important to our students, and again, it adds that consistency to our learning. The third process, or the third part that we use in our curriculum with HighScope, is a plan, do, review process. This happens daily with our students. The children during their work time, or sometimes we refer to it as their playtime, they make a plan with their teacher. Then they go and they do their plan during their work time, and then they come back to their teacher and they review what it was that they did. And did they stay with their plan, or did their plan change and develop into something else? So it's a really nice time where we sit down and we talk about what they did. And the fourth part of our curriculum is really looking at each and every one of our students and developing their strengths and their interests. That's what we're here, and we talk about individualizing for each child, their education. We really need to really celebrate their strengths and their interests. Next. As I said, high scope curriculum has many elements to it. And one of the elements is providing activities daily. And we do this through what we call our small group instruction. And that small group instruction is done daily with a small group of children with the teacher. We have designed activities to have this small group learning take place every day with our students. And it's very nice because the teacher is engaged with this small group of students during our small group instruction. And it's just a great way to see where the child is and to have that really one-on-one connected time with our students during small group instruction. High scope curriculum offers a wonderful conflict resolution process for us to implement in our classrooms in case conflict should arise with regards to our students. But what this does is it's a great system to provide tools for children when a conflict arises in the classroom. And it's a 6-step program that as a teacher, we guide them through this. These 6 steps will be tools that the children can take on to kindergarten when conflict may arise later down in the kindergarten classroom, for example. So high scope provides us with that wonderful tool. And the high scope curriculum also provides us with a wonderful assessment tool called the CORE. And this is an assessment tool that the teachers here use. We take data on the students as we engage in these activities like I was talking about. So we take data on the students, and then what we do is we take that data and we put it into our computer system, and it lets us know where a child is with regards to their developmental level, where we are going to kind of tailor our lesson plans to meet each and every one of these children. And then the beauty of this assessment tool is twice a year, you will get a copy of it and you get to see where your child's at. It's a beautiful tool for not only the staff, but also for the parents too. Next. So the high scope curriculum has 8 content areas, and it is approaches to learning, health and physical development, mathematics, science and technology, social and emotional development, language, literacy, and communication, creative arts, and last is social studies. These 8 areas guide the teachers as to lesson planning and implementing different activities, because we want our students to have the opportunity to have activities that reflect all 8 areas of our content area. So we work very hard to make sure that there's lots of different activities throughout the day that really reflect these 8 areas, because this is what guides our instruction here in the preschool classroom.
I'm going to invite Sarah Young to take over right now and talk to us. Sarah is our supervisor of special education programs, and talk to us about our balanced classroom, as well as some of the programs that are available to students who might have a special need or developmental delay. Sarah?
Thanks, Curie. As you've already heard so many highlights about the Troy Preschool, one of our major a point of pride is the high quality and balanced experience for all children ages 3 to 5 that we provide for these children. The team, there has been a tremendous amount of hard work from our preschool team that they've done together to ensure that all of our students are viewed as individuals. And our teachers and team are really able to build upon each child's strengths and celebrate their unique needs. In addition, the teachers and special education team have dedicated a lot of time and planning to ensure that the materials that we're providing to our students and expectations are differentiated for those needs as they may be at various levels in their development. And this provides opportunities for our students to be appropriately challenged, to learn from each other, and ultimately creates the family feel and strong sense of belonging for our youngest learners. You heard Erin mention a little bit earlier about our special education early childhood program. And this program is really designed for our students who require more intensive supports, a more supportive environment. So we also have our early childhood special education programs located in the preschool building. These ECP classrooms service students with IEPs who have more significant challenges in the areas of their development, such as speech and language, behavior, their independence, and self-help skills. Our ECP classrooms are led by highly skilled special education teachers and are supported by our world-class ancillary team that includes a speech pathologist, a school social worker, school psychologist, occupational therapist, and physical therapist. Housing our ECP programs at the Troy Preschool building has also provided our students an amazing opportunity to still have access to an inclusive environment by being able to spend appropriate portions of their day with their preschool peers. It's important to note here that decisions about placement in one of our ECP classrooms are made on an individual basis by the child's IEP team. And then just one more thing, that if you as a parent ever have any concerns about your child's development, you can reach out to your child's preschool teacher for further assistance if they are currently enrolled in a program, or you can feel free to reach out to the special education department if your questions are more specific to special education supports and services or an evaluation by the special education department.
Okay, I'm going to bring Mrs. Kaiser back in to talk about family partnerships and how important that is to our Troy School District preschool program. But I do want to say, because I'm getting quite a few messages, we are going to try to get through as many questions as possible, but we're going to do that at the end of the presentation. So if you have a question, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. If you're on Facebook, we have somebody monitoring Facebook, so you can put it in the comments on Facebook, as well as we'll try to go through some of the questions that we got from folks who filled out the form prior to this as well. So I'm going to turn it over to Erin Kaiser now to talk about that important link between parents and families and our students in the preschool.
Yes, thanks, Carrie. Parents, you have a really important role in your child's preschool education, and step one, you're here tonight, and that'll continue during your child's preschool experience with us. Your communication with your child's teaching team is going to be really critical for their student growth. We utilize Schoology, similar to K-12 if you're familiar with the Troy School District, but we also have a variety of models to communicate with our parents, such as Seesaw, email, phone calls, a homeschool folder, as well as just work samples that are coming home so that you can know what your child is working on during the school day. Partnerships with families are fluid and ongoing. Parents have an opportunity for 2 parent-teacher conferences, which are formal meets, but you have contact with your child's teacher as needed, because you're in a really important part of setting those goals for your child during their preschool time. This year, our partnership with families has been critical because we need to communicate and implement the health and safety protocols to ensure the safety of our school community, the program expectations and procedures, and still ensuring that families have access and an opportunity to be involved. So we had a few of our families share their experience with us via video. So Carrie, if you want to snap over to the next one, maybe we can share a little bit of their stories and experiences.
Obviously, it was a different start to our school year than we've had historically, but the district really was invested in making it a priority that we were able to offer in-seat preschool programs to our youngest and most vulnerable learners. We did a lot of cooperative work with our licensing and regulatory affairs consultant. We're licensed under LARA, and under really strict safety protocols and mitigation procedures, we were able to remain open. It's taken the partnership with families, really clear communication. It has taken a tremendous investment by our teaching staff and our teaching teams. And really, it's just been a devotion by the district to continue to invest in early childhood to make sure that children can have face-to-face and virtual learning opportunities that remain high quality. So we wanted to make sure that parents have an option to continue their education virtually. So we offered a virtual tuition program, and all of our programs also offer a virtual option. However, we know that some families prefer that their child have access to in-seat opportunities for preschool. And really, as our youngest children, the benefits of being able to interact with other children cooperatively and develop some of those foundational skills of socialization, problem solving, following routines and structure, there's just no match for it than doing it in person. It's taken a tremendous amount of work and commitment, but with the partnership of families and the support of our district, we've been able to do it, and I think it's just tremendously beneficial for our students.
His, socialization this year is off the charts from when it was when he started.
Since she's been in school, you definitely see that her kind of come out of her shell, and just that social growth that you would not see if she didn't have interaction with kids her age.
To have that virtual option for him this academic school year was amazing because he was able to say he had his own school, he had to log in just like his brother and sister, so it became part of our routine.
I mean, he's just more confident with how to handle situations and talk with kids and communicate.
Somehow he transitioned these last couple months from toddler to boy, and how he talks, how he thinks, how he barters for things, how he, it's just, it's remarkable.
There's just a different energy when you're in this building that was designed for 3, 4, and 5-year-old children, to hear their voices, to see their work, and to just feel their presence around you. This building was designed for the experiences of young children, for them to have an impact on their long-term education and to benefit them long-term.
Since the classroom is so structured and has a routine, he likes to do this, have a routine and structure at home too.
Just from how pickup is done and how drop-off has been orchestrated, I think all that has done wonders for the school, and it's been very consistent. So I think the consistency with the safety has then led to consistency with learning.
My concern at the beginning of the year was, is he going to be ready for kindergarten? And so are we going to be able to take a virtual year of, does he know what he needs to know? What are those benchmarks that we should be working towards? And so the virtual program, I think, has helped us get there.
It's just such a nice comprehensive program. The teachers are so engaged, and especially this year, they've just done such a good job, with precautions and making sure everybody is staying safe, make sure everybody's staying healthy, make sure that these kids can continue to learn in an in-person environment. I mean, just everything has been phenomenal with this program.
I work with the most wonderful people on earth, and they've been here since day one. They've been the ones that have been here, kind of the trailblazers for the district to reopen and offer in-seat face-to-face programs. They've done the research with me on what's the safest way to do it. They've been in communication with families to make sure that families feel safe and secure, and that we're following everything really closely. And even they say, they're finding the silver linings. I do think that some of the best practices that have come out of this in regard to safety, in regard to really clear communication, in regard to just our trust and the relationships that we've built with each other as a team and with our families, those will sustain and will have a tremendous impact in the long term.
Also on our preschool website, you'll find quite a few testimonials and just experiences from parents. Sometimes, that shopper review is really important. So I think it's important for you as a parent to know, what the experience has been for other parents who were in your shoes and made the decision to choose Troy School District Preschool. So I invite you to visit that on the website and just kind of glean into some of their experiences, because we're very proud to have had that impact for these families and the long-term impact for their children. We're gonna, like Carrie mentioned, I know that there are some existing questions still. I tried to, in my long-winded first slide, talk and address some of those questions. So, we can go through some of these that are frequently asked questions and make sure that we touched on some of these. These were some of the most popular. And then I'll also ask Carrie to kind of moderate the ones that have popped up, and she can, direct them to me or anybody on the panel. Again, our preschool program and the tuition program is open to enroll on January 19th, and we're going to be showing you how to enroll just in a bit. And the ages for that program are ages 3 to 5. So they need to be age 3 by December 1st. If they turned 3 between September and December, you would just wait until they turned 3 and your tuition rate would be prorated, but you can enroll and save your spot. If you can enroll if you live outside of Troy School District, and again, the health and safety protocols we listed, we follow the CDC and Oakland County Health Department requirements, as well as we're licensed under LARA, but there's a comprehensive plan that's listed on our website as well. But really, it's just been about, student screeners and a lot of sanitation, hand washing, social distancing, PPE, and making sure that we're really tight to those protocols and having really clear communication with our families. We do offer before and after school childcare from 6:30 a.m. till 6 p.m. We do not have transportation available, but we do offer hot lunch for the same rate as the Troy School District, and parents have an option to purchase hot lunch for their children. Toilet training is required for our tuition programs. We are not a daycare facility with diapering facility. So we know that some children are just turning 3 and may have accidents, and that's absolutely fine. But we do expect that children demonstrate some independence with toileting and come to school in underpants, so not diapers or pull-ups. And then the last one is, what is the enrollment process and when can I enroll? So I don't know, Carrie, if you want to show that information and then address some of the questions. So next week on Tuesday, January 19th, online, you can do your enrollment completely online. You'll find the link on our Troy Preschool website for LEO. You'll choose your program and your class option. After you create your online profile, you'll complete the required online student enrollment form in PowerSchool as well. And then later on, you'll be turning in some paperwork and things for us. But really just creating that profile in LEO and making your selection will secure your spot for the 2021-22 school year. If for any reason your selection were full, you'd be contacted by the office and then placed on a wait list. Okay, I think that's the end of our formal presentation. Before we get into the Q&A, I just want to take an opportunity again, as Carrie said, to echo my thanks for the panel and for our parents participating. If you don't have any additional questions, certainly this is an opportunity that you could, that you could exit the presentation, but we'll have an opportunity to answer some of those questions now. Carrie, what have you got?
Okay, I do also want to point out on this screen that has all of our contact information. The website is really a great resource for parents and prospective parents to take a look at kind of a day in the life and what happens within our preschool. And of course, that registration link is also on our Troy School District Preschool. We've got quite a number of questions. I'm going to stop screen sharing now, but as Erin said, we do thank you all for joining us. This has been a wonderful opportunity for us to be able to share a little bit about, and I realize that it's different than you would normally do for an information night or for an open house. We are hoping as the pandemic, as the number of cases subside and as the more people are vaccinated and we get into a situation where it's a little bit safer for us to invite you in. We're hoping in the spring to have many more kind of information nights and activities, perhaps where you could bring your children to come see the facility, or at least the outdoor parts of the facility. And we'll certainly, you know, if you contact the preschool, we'll certainly keep you posted on those opportunities as we move forward. That's one of the big questions that we're getting, Erin, on Facebook. And I know we showed quite a few little pieces of that within our videos, but can you or Pat walk us through just kind of what a day would look like for a preschool student?
Would you like me to, Erin?
I absolutely, Pat. You're no one better than to do that.
Okay, so it starts with greeting our students at the loop, where the parents drop their children off. And during this time, we take their temps and register them in on our attendance. But then they go right to their cubbies and they unpack all of their gear. And then they come in and they wash their hands. And then they're so excited because we have a message board. We do a little PowerPoint presentation. It kind of gives them all the messages of what's going to happen for today. What are their hot lunch choices? What is small group activity going to be? So this is a time where we give them messages about what their day is going to be like. Maybe it might be a day that we're going to the gym. That'll be on our message board. So in my classroom, the way my schedule works is after we do our message board, we go right into small group instruction. And this is the time where I have prepared one of those 8 content areas in our curriculum. So I might have a math activity for the students to do. And as we are engaging in small group time, I go around and I facilitate and see what's happening with each of the students. And I try to, see if they need some help, or maybe they don't need help, and maybe they need a little bit more to do than I've planned for them. So that's a good thing. So then after we go in from our small group time, this is so much fun because we gather and they do their plan, do review, which I spoke about. So I will say to a child, Dylan, what's your plan today? And he might say, Mrs. Grandy, I want to go to the block area and I want to build that building that I did yesterday. And that's my opportunity to say, okay, is there anything else you're going to need for building today? Because he's already done this. So he wants to build something even bigger and better. So that's where we individualize that learning for the students. And then a typical day after you've had your, what we call our work time, we give them a transitional notice and we clean up. And then we go into, for some of us, we go into large group instruction, which is music and movement. That might be a finger plays, that might be different literacy activities. And then we have an outside time. Every one of our classes get to go outside in the morning. And then after that, it's usually lunchtime. After lunch, we have a nice literacy block where we read and we meet. This is where we might do shared reading with our students, or maybe some finger plays, like I said. And then the children prepare for a rest time during the day. Most of our children don't sleep, but it's a really great opportunity for them to just rest their bodies. And we play very relaxing music. And after they've kind of recharged, we get up and then we have snack time together. And then after snack time, again, depending on each one of the teacher's schedules, you may have, like I have an afternoon literacy block. And this is a time where, again, we'll do that shared reading, or maybe we will act out a story, or sometimes they tell me what they want to do. So this is awesome. So that's where we have a lot of collaboration inside our classroom. It's not just what I want to do. This is their day here at the preschool, and we want to make it fun for them. So then we kind of, at the end of the day, we start to wind our day up and the children pack their things, and then we meet our parents out at the loop. And it's a very busy day. I think it's a day that is, I want when my students come into my classroom, that this is like an extension of their home. I want them to feel like this is their home. The rules are minimal. When I say that, I mean, I want them to just have a really great time every day, because they share a lot of their time with us. And we want this to be a fun, enjoyable time for our students. And that's a day.
It sounds wonderful. And if, as somebody who gets to come in and see Pat's classroom and the other preschool classrooms, it is truly an engaging, wonderful, nurturing, loving environment. It's a lot of fun to see our preschool in action. I always joke with them that's where my second office is, because it just fills you with such great feelings to be in there. Thank you, Pat. So Erin, we have quite a few questions. I'm looking both on our questions that were submitted early as well as Facebook and in the chat regarding the free preschool program for students who are turning 5 during that year. People want to know who is eligible for that and what does that encompass as well?
Sure. So pre-K is a free preschool that children are eligible if they turn 5 by December 1st of the current school year. So they are kindergarten age eligible. But they may, parents may decide that they want to give them an opportunity for another year of high quality preschool or their first year of high quality free preschool. So basically within Troy School District, this program does require that you're a Troy School District resident, as it's really kind of reflects kindergarten enrollment. Any child that is technically age eligible within the Troy School District will be contacted by their home elementary school for enrollment for kindergarten. And during that time, parents have the option to make the decision that they would prefer to be selected for pre-K instead. You know, like the team had spoken about, it really would follow the mirror the school day of a preschool day. And we make sure that we challenge the students and prepare them for developmentally whatever they're ready for next. And so sometimes those children are ready for some things that are a little bit more challenging. And for some, it's their first time in preschool. So really just meeting their needs exactly where they are and making sure that it's a wonderful year as the year before kindergarten. After that year, then they would, so if a child was enrolled in pre-K in 2021-22, the following year, they would enroll in kindergarten at their home elementary school.
Okay, wonderful. We're also getting a lot of questions about whether or not, I know you mentioned there is a wait list right now for current preschool, but people asking if there might be some availability there as well as summer programming. Are you offering summer programming, and would that be 5 days? Do we know what kinds of offerings we might be able to talk to parents about?
Sure. We do have a wait list right now for our tuition program, but we, you know, just due to the, you know, the restrictions that we have right now, we're really trying to keep things small and careful. But we have a wait list that you can contact our preschool office, and they'll place you on the wait list that we may be able to enroll you in a tuition program this year. Summer enrolls separately, but we do offer summer programming. So typically we'd offer, you know, somewhere between 3 to 5 days a week programming for parents, and a little bit more flexible schedule, as we know that some families have some flexible schedules going on in the summer. Sometimes we have parents just kind of elect by week. So some parents use it as their extension of the school year, because we know that some parents work throughout the summer, but some parents choose to use it as like a summer camp, and they just send their kids for a few weeks. Sometimes parents use it as an opportunity for them to have a head start for their preschool year in the fall, or a head start for kindergarten, that they have a couple years of school to kind of get them back in that routine and structure before they attend kindergarten in the fall. So typically that enrollment opens up in spring, and we'll be advertising that. We're hoping to really have an opportunity, like Carrie mentioned, to be able to invite families to visit the facility, even if it were outside, so that families could meet some of the teachers and see the facility from the outside in our fantastic playground, and then get some more information about summer enrollment as well.
And then we have quite a few questions too. I know you talked about during the pandemic, and one of the reasons we have a wait list is we're keeping things a little smaller even than normal. Can you talk to me about what the typical student-teacher ratio might be? How many students would, I guess we'd have to answer that question during a pandemic and after the pandemic, but what kinds of things parents could expect in that department?
Sure. So right now, well, first it's important to note that we're a licensed childcare facility. And so we are governed by our license, which indicates what is a safe adult to child ratio. So right now in our tuition programs, we have 10 children and 1 teacher. We keep the same consistent 10 students with the 1 teacher throughout the day. Next year, we're hoping to be back to the opportunity where we would have a teacher and an assistant in the classroom and up to 20 children in the classroom. It, again, just kind of depends on where we are, and we're being optimistic, but we've certainly seen tremendous benefits to those reduced class sizes this year as well. The only classroom that has there are a couple differences in that Gsrp, the 4-year-old preschool program, that is a 1-to-8 student teacher ratio, and that goes up to 16 with 2 teachers. And then our ECP, our early childhood special education program, is a 1-to-4 ratio with up to 12 children in the classroom and 3 teachers. So there might be some differences based on the program that you enroll for, but based on licensing, we would never have more than a 1-to-10 ratio with adult to child.
Excellent. We've got a couple of questions here too, of course, on tuition. Where can parents find out more information about what the program costs are? And I know that we've talked before that we are competitive with other programs in the area.
Sure. Yeah. So you'll find out all of that information depending on what program you enroll for during when you are looking at on LEO on the enrollment page, just for parents to have kind of, a snapshot. It breaks down to a little bit more than $50 a day. We don't charge daily rate. We charge it as we really operate as a high quality preschool and not a daycare. So we don't charge daily rates, but we consider that to be pretty competitive with our the community partners and things like that. So for a full day of preschool, it would break down to about that, or around $900 a month for tuition. And then less than that, about $500 for a month for the half day programs. And then again, there are some free preschool options, or parents could also elect to enroll for the before and after school childcare. That's it's about $3.50 an hour for the before and after school childcare, and parents can choose their schedule for that, what works for their work.
And can you just reiterate some of those programs, or some of those options that are available to parents under the tuition-based preschool? We have both full day and half day programs.
Yes. So 5 full days. It's a 7-hour preschool day, and kind of has the structure of the day that Mrs. Grandy outlined. Or some parents prefer a half day option, so they could choose 5 mornings or 5 afternoons. That's a 3-hour preschool day. It does encompass all the components of the high school curriculum. It does not offer lunch or rest time.
Okay, and I'm getting quite a few questions about will the, and I think you can answer this based on the success that you've had this year. Will Troy Preschool, when we open in the fall, when the 21-22 school year starts, which sounds strange to me, will it be virtual, or it will be in person?
We have every intention of returning and kind of sustaining our face-to-face instruction. So like we mentioned in the video, and as Chris mentioned earlier, we really wanted to be responsive to the needs of our community. And because we were licensed under, Lara, we had the option to remain open. And so we did so. So we've been open and operating safely since September 1st, and we will continue to do so. It's been a wonderful effort by our teams and partnership with our families. So we intend to continue that. This year, we have offered a virtual option for all of our programs, because although some people feel comfortable to send their child in person, we know that that's not for everyone right now, and we want to be really sensitive to that. So both of our free preschool programs, our early childhood special education, and our tuition program have virtual options this year. Based on the demand and the need of our community, we'll be responsive to that. If there exists a need for a virtual option in the fall, then we will absolutely do that. We certainly hope to intend, kind of return to a sense of normalcy of face-to-face education, as much as possible, but we'll see where we are in the fall and be responsive to our families.
Okay. Sarah, if you're still with us, there's a few questions, and I will remind parents, if you have questions about your individual child, the best thing is to email Mrs. Kaiser, and she will get you in touch with the right people who can answer your questions. But Sarah, we do have a question from a parent who said, if my child has an IEP or has special needs, can you talk to me about how they would be integrated into preschool with everyone else? And I know you talked about a little bit in your presentation, but can you reiterate a little bit more about that?
Sure. It really depends on what kind of program that the child is currently in. So we have students who are in a tuition program who may be receiving social work services or teacher consultant services, and they are in the general education preschool classroom all day long. And so they are integrated all day, every day. And then our students who are in our early childhood ECP program, those students, Erin has done a wonderful job, and our special education team has led quite a bit of training on inclusive opportunities for general education teachers. The general education teachers at the preschool have been very welcoming and worked very hard to make sure that when our students are there, that they are providing them with great opportunities. And so what we did last year, at the beginning of last year, and things didn't work out as planned, obviously, but we were able to identify partner teachers for each one of our special education program teachers. And so what they did then was we had specific times of the day where the students from the ECP classroom would push into the general education preschool classroom and focus in on those social skills, or provide them with other high quality opportunities for them to be with their peers. So it was really a great opportunity for them last year. We've had some challenges, but we're hoping that we can get back to giving them those inclusive opportunities, as soon as possible.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sarah. So we've got a couple of questions here, and I don't know, Chris, if you want to answer these, or Erin, but and I know that we went over these in the presentation a little bit, but parents wanting to know how teachers are trained and what sort of, maybe you could talk about what sort of professional development is available, how we integrate preschool teachers into the opportunities that we give to all of our elementary teachers and all of our teachers as well.
Want to take that, Erin?
Yeah, sure. I was trying to be respectful and wait, so it doesn't always seem like I'm the one talking, but I certainly. So, there's just different levels, I think, of the professional learning. So the district has committed to ensuring that all of our teaching teams have an opportunity to have high quality professional learning throughout the school year that's really responsive to the needs of the classroom, whether it's inclusive opportunities like Sarah was talking about, or Natalie had mentioned our partnerships with Teachers College at Columbia University. So, really understanding what's appropriate at the preschool level for authentic literacy. So being, partnering and being responsive to the needs of young children in that way, but then also individually, just making sure that our teachers, their own professional growth continues, and that they feel that they're challenged and that they can meet the needs of their children within their classroom. So we also partner with Oakland Schools. They provide our training on the high school curriculum and our child observation record, our assessment model. So it really just depends on each individual teacher and making sure that they have the tools and the resources and the training to feel confident to implement that. And really, we say we want to prepare each child for kindergarten, and we do, but it's about meeting them specifically where they are when they come to us and challenging them. We know what the kindergarten standards are, and we want to make sure that the children can go in confident and be ready to learn. But really, the most important thing is that they love school and they see themselves as a learner.
Erin, may I add that many of our teachers on staff hold master's degrees in higher levels of education, so they are really very dedicated to continuing their own personal education in this field.
Absolutely. We have the best, Troy is known for the best teachers across all of our programs, but we have truly the best preschool teachers. And as I said, walk into any classroom and you see such an engaged and developmentally appropriate for kids, but I would call it such a professional program that's going on. It really is wonderful to see as well. We talked a little bit about enrollment. We have lots of questions about enrollment, which is great. You can go, enrollment opens on the 19th. I should reiterate that to everyone. You can go to the Troy School District website and you can see the LEO link to be able to register. And Erin, I would say probably people should, we are hoping to have more events, both in person and possibly virtual, but it does, there is a point where we do fill up. So I would encourage people to go and if they're seriously considering it, to register as soon as possible. Do you have any other registration tips, Erin, or anything else people should know as they go into to enroll their child?
No, I agree. You know, we certainly don't want to, you know, create a sense of panic to enroll, but there, you know, it is a priority, right, to get your spot. And I will say the families that we have with us this year, the reason that we have a wait list is that, you know, once they're in, no one's leaving us. So, you know, that's a huge compliment to our teaching teams and just the relationship that we have with our families, that they've, you know, that they've been a part of this school community with us this year. So we want parents to feel that they've feel comfortable and confident in their choice, but if they decide that they are going to enroll, to secure that spot. If they run into any problems with the enrollment process, our office staff is here. Helen and Jody are up front 8 to 4, Monday through Friday. Give our office a call or email me and we can help you walk through the process to ensure. But really, LEO is a very, it's a really nice system, and it's just creating a profile for your child and making your selection. It should be pretty easy.
Okay, I'm getting some kind of logistical questions about the day. You know, is there rest time for students? Is there snack time? Things like that. I know that Pat kind of walked us through a day and what a child might experience, but those kinds of typical things, are they a part of the program as well?
Well, if you want, Erin, I'll answer this one. Yes. Everybody needs a snack every day. I mean, my goodness, I can't wait to have snack with my students. So really, snack time really depends upon your personal schedule in your classroom. My students eat lunch at 11:30. So, you know, we're good in the morning, but we always enjoy an afternoon snack together, which the parents provide. And the rest time, like we spoke about it before, we are mandated by our licensing program that we provide an opportunity for the children to rest. Do they have to sleep? No, they do not. But we need to offer that opportunity in a 7-hour day that we have the children with us, that they have an opportunity to rest. And really, it's just a time to kind of have some calm with some relaxing music. So it's a very calming, nice, recharging time, we like to call it. So.
Okay, a lot of the questions that that we're getting at this point are specific to an individual child. So I would encourage you, if you have questions about your child, or a specific question about how they might fit in best in our preschool programs, to email Mrs. Kaiser. So that address is ekaiser. It's also on our preschool website, but ekaiser@troy.k12.mi.us. So I'm going to wrap it up because I don't want to keep our parents who are watching on Facebook and our folks that are joining us in the Zoom too much longer. But Erin, is there anything you would like to say to prospective parents? Any last minute reason as to why they would choose Troy and why they would choose this program? I mean, I can give you a list of reasons a mile long, but you're there every day with our wonderful teachers and our students and families. So I think you know best.
Well, you know, we're thrilled when parents choose preschool for their child, no matter what, because we know what an incredible influence it has on their long-term education. So we really, I think that the representation tonight really just speaks volume about the investment in early childhood in Troy School District. So we've invested in a building, we've invested in our teachers, and we've invested in the environment, and just invested to committing to remain open. It's been a labor of love this year, and we wouldn't have it any other way in the Troy School District. It's a really important part of our system, and it's going to sustain here. So, you know, we welcome you families in the fall. We can't wait to show you our facility and meet your little ones soon.
And I would encourage everyone, if you are interested, to definitely contact the preschool, get on the mailing list so you can find out about those opportunities in the spring, hopefully to come see the facility. If you have questions, Mrs. Kaiser and her team would be happy to answer them. This presentation and this video will be saved on Facebook if you're watching us on Facebook Live, and we will also put it on our webpage if you'd like to see it again. If you missed certain parts of it, we're happy to do that. We're happy to do that as well. But just in closing, we thank you all for joining us. We're thrilled with your interest in the Troy School District. We're thrilled with your interest in our preschool programs. And we would, as Mrs. Kaiser said, love to see you in the fall. Thanks so much, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.